Alright, back at you. Another TECHNOBABBLE video. Today we're going to be tearing apart a 360 controller. I would like to say that like a lot of the products, the old controllers and such that I've taken apart so far on TECHNOBABBLE, that this is also one of my old ones. Unfortunately, I actually couldn't find my old 360 controller. I had this like shiny blue one. I had this shiny blue one with like a D-pad that twists to make it like a dish. So I don't know where I've got that stashed. It's hidden around somewhere in the house, and I, for the life of me, or could be out in the storage shed or something. But I got this one. I overpaid, I think, at a little brick and mortar that's nearby, and it is absolutely filthy. So this isn't so much about fixing the controller in this video, but it will show you pretty much how to get it completely apart and back together, and a little before and after of cleaning it up, how nasty it is. There's a little hidden screw right under there. It took me a while to remember where it was. It's been a while since I've taken apart a 360 controller. 360 controller being one of the first controllers I ever took apart back around 2010-ish, maybe. Well, no, let's say more like 2012. I think I first got my first 360 in like 2010. But I haven't taken one of the controllers apart in years. So 360 was one of the, well, it was one of the consoles that honestly I kind of got late to the party on. I was still running a GameCube all through high school, which for me ended in around 2010. It was like 2010, 2011, I got me a 360. I don't remember exactly. Went with my uncle and my brother and picked it up from a GameStop. And I ran that console just about to death. I actually killed a power brick in it, and that's going to be in the next video. I have no idea how to fix a power brick, and that is not a task that I'm going to take lightly. I just ordered a new one. Power bricks, everything I've heard, just, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with them, pretty much. Other than that, just this video is cleaning a funky controller, pretty much, and, you know, 20-something minutes of me rambling over top of it, trying to make a half-entertaining voiceover. So, we'll see how that goes, anyway. I could not get the D-pad apart for anything. It did not want to come out of there. I don't know if it's just like rusted together, or maybe it's been from the factory glued or something. I don't know. It's very difficult. Little set of screws to get at, and I fiddled with that for far too long, so I'm just going to fast forward through some of that a bit. I don't like to cut stuff out of my videos here because I'd rather show my mistakes and fumbles and show everything that happens. Yeah, I'd rather show everything than hide it or cut it out. I feel like it'd be more informative to say, maybe the D-pad's not worth trying to take apart. I need to find another controller somewhere and test that out and see how it does. I've got some PS2 joysticks and some like Xbox 360, Xbox Series joysticks, and I was hoping that they might be able to replace these because these are just slick. I don't really like when a controller thumbstick gets slick. There might be some people that do. My wife actually claims that I went to change the joysticks on a controller of hers once, and she was like, I just got them broke in. So I guess that really is down to preference, but I still like them when they've got the grip to them. I fumbled with this for far too long as well, thinking that these joysticks might go on there. I couldn't get the 360 or the PS2 joysticks to... Well, the PS2 joysticks, the front half of the shell of the controller where the joysticks go through is actually too small, but you'll wind up seeing that. Like the top of the thumbstick, the thumb resting part is too large to go through the holes in the controller. I think it would have looked nice with the green ones though if it would have closed up. I don't in particular understand why it wouldn't close up. I still haven't figured that one out, but I recorded this video quite a while back and have procrastinated severely about actually doing a voiceover for it. I don't know why I get that way. I just tend to... I have what I consider to be good ideas for videos and stuff. This is not necessarily one of my better ideas. This was just a little project for fun, and I thought I'd take people along with me. But I do have what I consider to be good ideas for videos, and then I lose motivation. And part of me wants to think it's because what's the point when there's no monetary value to doing this? And other times it can be trolls. So I don't know. It really depends on what's aggravating me at the time. And then sometimes it's just difficult to find time to actually do a voiceover because I actually have a sleep schedule now, but it doesn't coincide with having a quiet house. So I've got like 20 minutes to crank this one out, which is just enough time to get basically one run through this video, and we're gonna run with that because it's a voiceover and it gives me a video to finally put up on TECHNOBABBLE because it's been a while, unfortunately. Apologies if my voice is a little weird. I feel like it's a little weird. Nose is a little stuffy today. Allergies are great. So I made a cut there, and I can't remember if it was exactly that point when I came back, but I tend to take all the plastics that I can that are just plastics from the controller, and I will just wash them in the sink with a bowl. It's good to have one of them little drainer like screens to go in your sink. Make sure you don't lose none of your bits. And I like to wash them with just some dish soap. I feel like it does really good to get everything off. Dish soap and a brush, and just wash them. And then I will dry them with a towel, kind of shake them. If necessary, I'll use some of the little canned air. I need to get one of those little air, like electronic duster. I need to get one of those. Like it's like a little reverse vacuum, for lack of a better way to say it. So now I just want to clean the board up because I guess I saw some schmoo on it. It's hard to see it in the playback while doing the voiceover. So yeah, it's hard to see it when it's doing the playback on the voiceover. My computer is old. It still runs like a 12-year-old i5 or something, and DDR3 RAM. So that, for people that know specs and stuff, they're on DDR5 now, and RAM does not change as quickly as some other things does. But yeah, DDR5 does not change as quickly as some other things does, and the little one decided to wake up since I was doing a voiceover, so hopefully he stays fairly calm. We'll see about that. I just need a few more minutes if you'll allow it. Anyway, yeah, they're on a new standard now, coming out with a new standard and everything. The computer also will not, at least the last that I checked, it will not support upgrading to Windows 11. So yeah, it's fairly old and not in the it's not in the competition for fast computers or anything. Now this is one of the biggest issues that I've had with this new 360, air quotes, heavy air quotes on that new, with this new 360 controller, is the battery pack has, like, I don't know if someone had batteries go bad in it and in the acid or whatever leak out, but the button that releases the pack from the back of the controller, it has basically disintegrated, which actually gives me a pretty good tip to anybody who might have made it this far in the video. If the pack seems loose, or if you can't get a good battery connection, it might be that button, because I've learned that after this moment here. I have to slightly tilt the pack out to, like, put more pressure on the batteries, because the button's not actually holding them where they're supposed to be if it's fully closed on the back of the controller. It gives a really convenient way to turn the controller off, though. I can just close the battery pack the whole way, and then it disconnects the batteries and turns it off immediately. But it's not, the preferred. So I might have to look into getting another battery pack holder for the 360 controller. But other than that, I'm pretty sure it all turns out to work pretty good. I've not actually played with it in a while. I've been just, disheartened, I guess. That's why I've been so slow about making content, which I did grind really hard on the art channel there for a while. Was really enjoying that, and I think I'm about to do another art video. I don't know how many of my followers from TECHNOBABBLE would be following me on Valhalla's Demise, but on the art channel, yeah, it's I put out quite a few shorts and everything. I did like 30 days of shorts a little while back, and then I did a couple of the cast of Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Yeah, I did a couple of them. I've been trying to do a playthrough of Splinter Cell on the gaming channel. I was going to try to go through, like, all the old Call of Duty games, and then that's part of when I started getting disheartened. It's like they're getting like 2 views a piece or something. I don't know that Let's Plays are going to be nearly as popular as they used to be, and I don't personally care to live stream. I just don't. I feel like it's too personal and too intimate, and I know it's kind of an odd way to phrase it, but it really is. You're letting someone directly into a moment with you, so there is a level of intimacy to it, and just really letting people in. And I'm not a good communicator. I tend to make more cuts to my voiceovers than I do my videos, so I don't love live streaming. It can be super fun, and it also has the downside of, if you're playing a new game that has just come out, I feel like it takes way too much focus away from the game, because I'm worried about trying to communicate and keep people, what few stragglers may show up in the stream, engaged. And it becomes difficult to do that when I'm playing a new game, and I'd really rather focus on the new game and absorb it and take in the lore and story and all that. To me, games are really a big thing for escapism. And yeah, I don't. It just isn't the same to try to play through a new game while also trying to entertain what stragglers I may have on a live stream. I feel like sometimes half the time that my videos turn into journals and rambles, definitely very rambly, more than they should be. And here's another part as far as taking the controller apart and cleaning it and everything. Also, when cleaning, if you don't know for some reason, use a very high percentage isopropyl alcohol because it evaporates and doesn't really stay behind once you're cleaning the board and everything. I fumble with the little D-pad. What would you call that? The D-pad rubber thing. I'm actually completely drawing a blank as to what you might call that. Anyway, I fumble way too long with that. I'm like, oh, maybe this goes here. I do know that a little bit here into the video, you will see a third hand, and that is Wifey Lady saying peace to everyone. And she just got home, which means that I was recording this around 1 o'clock a.m. So that might have excused a few of the brain farts along the way of tinkering and cleaning up this controller. It also means that I was probably trying to do it while all the kids were in bed, or should have been in bed anyway. I only found one good way that the D-pad gasket circle spring rubber thing, which I'm still completely drawing a blank on what I should call that, but it only wanted to go in one way, which seems odd, but it did, and that's the way it goes. And I felt like because it was rounded out that way, wouldn't it interfere with the joystick, or the joystick interfere with it? I don't know, maybe that was a flaw in the design of the 360 controller, or maybe I just overthink things and it really doesn't matter because it's in there the way that it goes, because it only goes one way. So I don't really know. But I do know that the controller is a massive amount less nasty than it was when I bought it for like too much. I can't remember. It has been months now. I want to say that it was like $30 I had to pay for this. And I know some people are going to go, oh, you could get it cheaper on eBay or whatever. And that's probably true. I made my first ever purchase on eBay earlier this year. It's taken me a very long time to work up to trusting what other people may send. There's no guarantee for quality, and that is one thing about going to the brick and mortar. The controller may have been disgusting. Not all of them are. They just kind of grabbed the first one they saw, I suppose. And I actually like the store. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, like, man, I paid like $30 for a nasty controller. You could take the time to try to clean these things if you're going to be selling them or whatever. But I know they test them, and I don't know that about eBay. And, you know, I tend to clean any time I'm going to get a used controller or used anything, really. I'm going to clean it before I put hands on it. I'm slightly germophobic, which might be hard to believe for some people. I tie my shoes, I want to wash my hands, that sort of stuff. Like, I constantly hand sanitize sitting around my desk. Just always been that way. So I like a nice clean controller. I take mine apart, my Xbox controller apart fairly regularly, wipe it down with alcohol, use a toothbrush to get into the little cracks, and if necessary, I will take it apart all the time just to make sure that it's clean. Usually I reserve the full teardowns for if something gets spilt on it. I want to make sure that I get it dry. Yep, there's the wifey lady. She gave me some sugars. Love you, babe. Although you are very unlikely to ever watch this video. I'd say not many people at all will ever watch 20 minutes of me going on about nothing. So, while I take apart a controller. But it is back together, and it is massively more clean than it was to begin with. So, and it works. So, that's really what matters, I suppose. But the battery pack, the more that it disintegrates, the less useful it has become. It worked like fine like once, and then I couldn't get it to work anymore without like half pulling the pack out the back. That's a tongue twister. Pack out the back. I feel like it could be a tongue twister. Maybe it's really easy to say. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging around while I spouted 22, 23-ish minutes of absolute nonsense and cleaned a controller. Thanks for watching. Check out some other videos if you, for some reason, like this. Maybe you need help figuring out how to take something apart. Check them out. And hope to catch you in the next one. This has been Valhalla's Demise. And as always, be safe, be good.